Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Everything Football podcast. Um, so today we're obviously going to start with probably the big we're going to review the Champions League today, and we're going to be talking about, I think, as well, if some of you might have seen FIFA and UEFA trying to cut down or extend matches. But yeah, and maybe some other things such as Everton as well, and what's happening with them. But first off, Joe, this week, the Champions League. So let's start off Tuesday. We saw Liverpool and City get, wins. Easy. Well, not. I didn't watch Liverpool. I watched City Atletico, but
Yeah,
obviously Liverpool's looked quite easy. But City had to work a little bit for it. But yeah, obviously Kevin De Bruyne doing what he does. Or really, it was Foden that came on and changed the game. Really.
yeah, it was just Man City just needed to break down Atletico Madrid's defense. Really, they, they
Yeah.
probably needed they probably needed that second goal. I'd say.
Yeah. It's it's this tough one because we all know how Simeone plays. He's known as the Spanish Burnley, probably in England. So you know, I don't. I mean, taking it back to Madrid, I reckon it's gonna be tough. I do think City will get through, but I don't think they'll get through easy. I
Yeah, I
think
don't think it
they'll.
would be as convincing as people think it would be.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think it'll be tough. I think City will have to probably definitely scrape a goal or so because of Atletico Madrid. I don't think there's going to be the tie where they don't score. I think they'll score, especially with that Madrid crowd behind them. Like they've done all right. They had a couple of chances, a couple of counter-attacking chances in the first leg as well this week. And I mean, Griezmann, the most likely one, but he just ran out of steam really, and nothing really happened. But they defended resolutely until, as I said, Foden sort of came on fresh legs, put De Bruyne through, and De Bruyne's not missing that.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, and then Liverpool, um, watched the highlights that one. Liverpool looked pretty dominant, as you would expect. Mane, Diaz getting on the score sheet, you know.
yeah. It
No,
only took a mistake at the back for Benfica to score anyway. So
yeah. I mean, I think everyone's seen that clip of when Diaz scored. That geezer threw like a
was it
walking
walking
stick,
stick? Yeah,
yeah, or something. Like just flew past his head. Um, but yeah, Liverpool obviously. I mean, I think Liverpool and City, everyone knows they're favourites, but they've done well. And then moving on to Wednesday, oh, um, we didn't do very well. We
yeah.
we
What'd you make
lost.
of that game?
Uh,
Terrible.
I, right. I don't want to see Christensen play for us again. He should never play for us. I'd never wanted him to play for us. His head's in Barca, or well, I mean, people, Chelsea fans are saying like, oh, what's it? That people that like his like he doesn't care and stuff like that. I don't think he doesn't care. I think he's just. I'm not being funny, but to be blunt, he's just shit. I mean, he doesn't do anything, and against Vinicius, everyone saw he just got fucking smoked basically every time. He was just getting ripped to shreds. Like the 1-2s with Vinicius and Benzema were just too good. And well, that was just, as I said, Vinicius just running past him, and that's why
Maybe
Tuchel,
Chalobah probably would have been better.
yeah, and Tuchel took him off at half time because of it. I think I saw in the comment in the interviews afterwards the press conference. I saw he said that was his mistake. I didn't think he should have started. Like I said, I think Chalobah should have started. And then Aspie at left back was a bit of a weird one. Aspie's been a good club servant, but like I can't even say this, but I think Alonso would have just been a little bit better because natural left foot. Um, I don't. Yeah, Aspie has to cut in. And he's not getting any younger, so he ain't got the legs that much anymore. Um, and then the debate was Jorginho or Kova. I would have gone with Kovacic. I think it was more. There was quite a few Chelsea fans that did say they wanted Kova over Jorginho. I think I would personally wanted him because obviously Kovacic's faster.
He
And
tries to pull forward, doesn't
yeah, and obviously you have like if we're doing a press, we've got that extra. He's got that extra yard over Jorginho any day that will sort of he'll keep up with the press. Whereas Jorginho, you have to play slow. And I know we got the assist, but there was a lot of people that still said Jorginho shouldn't have played, and there we got exploited through our midfield, and Jorginho got left with space on his own really. And obviously,
he? Yeah.
if you watch Jorginho running back, if you just look at Jorginho, you can just see what happens, and he just can't keep up. But obviously the main talk point was Benzema. I mean, two quality headers, really. I mean, that was the one player, the main player, just to say, um, to look out for. Um, Benzema, just make sure you stick on him. Make sure you don't leave him. And our defender last night, sorry, was shocking. I mean, I saw for the first goal, I saw Silva, as experienced as he was, I thought, why is he not sticking with? He looked over his shoulder, I think, and saw Benzema, but he just didn't follow him, and he went
Maybe
to
he
double
thought
up.
Christensen had him.
Christensen had Vinicius, but he looked over his shoulder. But I think he went to double up on him. And I think he thought Jorginho was going to get Benzema, but Jorginho, as I said, is slow as anything, and he can't catch up. And Benzema free header, and I don't know what we was thinking there. The second one was just Silver again, but he was quite again was just alone a little bit. Like there was so much space, but it was still a great header, still a lot to do really, and to get it in that power and direction was just brilliant. And then obviously we got back in the game. I had a feeling we would get a goal, like with us being at home, the crowd and stuff. I thought we'd get a goal, and we did through Havertz. So that half the deficit, and I generally thought if we if after we got a goal, I thought if we keep it like this, when it's half time, was second half, I feel like we would have equalised. But obviously, about 25 seconds, something like that, after second half, Mendy
Wow.
decided to do that, and
Turn into Karras.
and yeah, I generally first thought in my mind when the ball came back to him was just play it. Benzema was running towards Rudiger, play it back to Silva, because a lot of people go, oh, just boot out. Like it didn't necessarily need to boot out. Although Mendy, I remember saying when he first signed, I remember saying he looks like a traditional keeper, because I on the video, like watching YouTube stuff, I could just tell he was more of a shot stopper. He's proven that rather than playing with his feet like Edison. So, but he didn't naturally have to boot it. But I would just play it to Silva. You play it away from the person who's like pressuring you, but you play it to Rudiger. It was soft. Rudiger won the ball, but he didn't want to go in fully, because I think if he went in fully and he took out Benzema, he was fearing of red card because he was on the yellow at that point. But
It's not
yeah,
like Mendy was under pressure by Benzema, really. It's like
yeah, I know. Yeah, it was like the thing is I was saying this to my dad. I was like, he shouldn't have. Number one, the ball, the weight on the pass was too soft anyway. But number two, normally, if someone's passing, like if you're passing someone and someone's like running to pressure, like in the direction you want to pass, like I said, he wanted to pass to left to Rudiger. Well, Benzema was going that way to press Rudiger because he probably knew the ball was going to go there. I would just play it to Silva, who would have been away from Benzema, and no one was really pressing with him. He was sort of a little bit on his own. And even if someone started pressing Silva, at least he would have had the chance to then play it back to Mendy, and then different sort of option might have been able to pass it to Rudiger or whatever. But yeah, shocking from Mendy, really. I mean, I saw some people blaming Rudiger, but I don't really think it was Rudiger's fault. I think Mendy put him in hot water there, and hospital pass.
maybe Rudiger could have done better, but
Yeah. Then again,
mainly
yeah,
the blame
Mendy.
has to go towards the keeper.
Yeah, and oh, it went so flat. Second half, I think a lot of Chelsea fans were ready to be like second half, go at them, try and get that equaliser, and then 25 seconds in, all that goes out the window, and Mendy's passed it to Benzema, and it's
Game, really.
3-1. And it is
Do you
going to
reckon it
be.
ties over though?
I
Do you
do,
reckon you can
I do think
put
it is over. There might be a hope in the back of people's minds, especially when you see like the players put on Instagram and stuff. But like I've seen today, I saw Reece James earlier, Jorginho, but I mean, you've had hope before, and then you can just go and get battered. Like, remember a few seasons ago, we played Barcelona. We drew 1-0. This was under Conte. We was all like, let's just see what we can do out there. We're drawing. We're level. If we can get a goal, maybe we can win it. And we just end up getting battered 3-0, and we made mistakes. Courtois let in for his legs twice. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Madrid going trying to score two just to equal it. Like if we'd scored 3-2, that's one to equal and one to, and then another to go through. But to score, without Real Madrid scoring, is going to be tough. If we do it, if we score two, I'll be happy. If we score three, I think they'll be sitting.
Miracle.
They'll be it won't be the biggest miracle, but it'll be up there, especially as normally with the miracles of like Liverpool over the last with a 4-0. I mean, it'll be up there with probably Spurs Ajax, really. Because Spurs have, when they went away to as much as I hate to say, because Spurs did that comeback, but it was good. They were away from home. They were like, what was it, 3-0 down on aggregate? Because they got that away goal. Van der Beek scored, I remember, in the first leg at Spurs. Then they were 2-0 down, De Ligt and Ziyech. And then Lucas Moura hat-trick came out of nowhere and they won on the away goal rule. But the away goal rule is not a thing anymore. So, but potentially that has saved us, though, a little bit if we do perform. But we just need to time our goals, take our chances when we do go out there and hope. But I mean, Lukaku again, the substitutions when we brought on Lukaku and Loftus-Cheek, everyone knew they weren't going to do anything.
Lukaku should have scored.
Yeah.
The header.
Yep. Lukaku, free header. All right, it might have not gone deflected a little bit and spinning, but that's a free header. Centre of
that's the difference between Madrid and Chelsea.
Yeah,
Benzema would have scored that.
Yeah. It's
and you paid 100 million for him.
And I was one of the people that thought he would actually do well, but I think he wasn't doing too bad until that interview. That interview's just, I think it has screwed it a little bit. Since then, no one's really had faith in him. His performances have looked shocking. Doesn't get played, so but it's going to be tough if we go out there, as I said, and do it. Fair play. It's going to take something special, but if they start off well, we can all start to believe. We get an early goal, first 20 minutes, we get an early goal, we can start to believe, I reckon. Who knows? But then
That goal's crucial.
Yeah, but it would be us to score, and then we're watching the replays on like BT or whatever, and then as they cut the camera, like Vinicius is through and then squares it to Benzema, and we it's back to level, back to drawing board sort of thing. So yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't hold up much hope, as people probably have seen Tuchel's comments in the press conference. Someone said it's a tie live, and he went no. He even said on BT afterwards, he was saying we got to go Southampton. If we play like that against Southampton, we'll lose there, and if we play like that at the Bernabeu, we'll get battered. My thing is I'd say don't play the players that are the weak links. Don't play Christensen. He'll get done again. Don't play Jorginho. We need quick players. We need everyone to be on top of their game, really. I'm seeing a lot of Chelsea fans now call for Mount. Mount's not doing great at the moment. Kante got taken off at half time. I didn't get that, but people were saying that his legs were gone. I didn't really get that. I thought he could have just stayed on, really. I didn't think he was tired. He didn't look tired anyway. I know he was running around, but like professional footballer, like you expect them to last 90 minutes, even if they are like 30. But
I thought it was an injury at first, but
yeah, and then I don't know, just Kovacic came on, and then Loftus-Cheek again. As I said, when he came on, there was nothing there. Everyone knew what was going to happen. He was miscontrolling the ball for easy passes, really, and kept losing it. Got a couple like lucky a couple of times getting through players, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the best um performance. But as I said, hopefully we can just go there, do
You
something.
need a bounce back this weekend, considering you played badly against Brentford as well.
Yeah, 7 goals in 2 games, conceding wise is not good. And
Considering you are net like one of the teams with the best defense
yeah,
is
yeah.
not good.
Yeah, I had the feeling, as I said, 'cause obviously we didn't really release podcasts. We released it on Wednesday, I think, but we didn't really release one over the weekend. I was away. Um, but I was luckily I wasn't watching any of those games, but that game, but we saw, they just apparently everyone was saying, it was terrible and just, but it's always the international. After the international break, we always seem to just, I don't know, not do really that great. So I mean, it's probably quite a few teams, but I always think we just always do the worst out of everyone. But yeah, on to Madrid, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens if we do. Then it's going to be fair play to the boys, but they need to get a result. Like you said, at the weekend. But moving on to obviously Wednesday, the same game, same day. Sorry, I should say. Villarreal 1-0 against Bayern Munich in the tie at the moment. And to be fair, I watched the highlights this morning, and they should be at least two up at least. Neuer,
Goal disallowed.
yeah, there was a goal disallowed. It was a bit of a funny one. It was offside, but it was a cross, and Capu crossed it in, and Neuer misjudged it really. But luckily for him, it was offside. And then he went to play a ball out. It was a bit like Mendy, but he he tried to pass it with his left foot, failed terribly. And Gerald Moreno had an open goal, went for goal and missed it. And then there was another chance with someone, I can't remember who it was, but he sliced it. So, Villarreal could be like tuning up in sort of the dark. They are a bit the dark horse at the moment in but we'll obviously see what happens in the Allianz Arena, because we know some teams when they go to Allianz Arena, they can get battered if they're not careful.
Villarreal, one of those teams, very good defensively. Like it's hard to break them down.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they do well. And they are quite progressive with their football when they
And
want
we
to
definitely
be.
know that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they done really well. And if we'll see what happens in the second leg, but they could, they get into semi-finals. Semi-final against Liverpool, do I fancy them? Probably not, but some people might write them off already. And they've but outplayed Bayern in their own ground. But you wouldn't really expect it. But I mean, if they do go on and they play Liverpool, they could probably start believing. Once you get to a semi-final, anything can happen. You start believing. So yeah, it's gonna be good to see what Mr. Good Evening can do with his team.
Excellent.
But yeah, that was the Champions League. While that was going on, we had a really big relegation battle match on the same
Oh,
day. So Burnley Everton 3-2. And we was watching a bit of that game before we watched the Madrid game. We left it about 1-1, I think it was. But Burnley obviously scored from that corner, and then Everton got a penalty. What do you reckon though? Because Everton, obviously Lampard, I don't know. Are they going down? What do you reckon?
I don't know. They're in very big trouble though.
Yeah,
Considering their fixture list go towards the end of the season, really hard
yeah,
compared to Burnley's.
yeah,
Like Burnley have got Norwich this weekend. We've got to play Everton this weekend.
yeah.
Hopefully we win.
It's
If
gonna be
Burnley win, that means Everton drop down into the relegation zone.
yeah.
I
It's
don't
gonna
see
be
them coming back from that as well.
yeah. If they dropped out, as I said, I was saying to you, I said Burnley. They got Norwich. As I said, they played Everton yesterday, and then they have Norwich weekend, that's a big 6-pointer for them. They beat the teams around, and that's a massive advantage. Point behind Everton. If they win, they'll go. What's it? 2 clear. Like I say, Everton have got you this weekend, 12:30. At
Everton
Goodison.
have got, yeah, Everton have got to play Watford as well. That's another big
Yeah,
relegation
yeah.
battle match.
Watford, I think it's like that might be middle of May, sort of like second to last
Yeah,
game maybe. But in between, they've got you, they've got us, they've got Leicester, have they got Arsenal? I think they might have Arsenal, or it might be.
was that Everton?
Yeah, sorry, no, they have
No,
Liverpool. I think. Sorry,
no,
I'm saying
Everton beat
Liverpool.
Arsenal 2-1, didn't they?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, they got Liverpool. That's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, so they got some tough fixtures. Their only real get out card is Watford, where they got a hope, and
You just got
unless
to hope
they,
Burnley lose their games, really.
yeah, Norwich. The thing is, people say, well, Norwich, the goal difference, Norwich is not helping them. But if Norwich win, that's almost another step closer because they'll be breathing down Watford's necks, you know. So if Norwich win, they'll be like, you know, that could give them a bit of confidence. Big fight to the end of the season. It's going to be good. But the Everton, I think, but you know, they got 2 penalties. They were playing kind of progressive football from the football I saw. Well, they looked a bit better. Um, but obviously Burnley come back with some nice play, to be fair. I think Charlie Taylor puts into Rodriguez 2-2, and then I think for the third goal, Godfrey sliced the
Yeah, it
clearance.
was a mistake from Godfrey.
And then there was balls put across, and Cornet, Burnley's player of the season, just puts it in.
Terrible defensively.
Yeah.
So bad.
I don't know what's. I mean, a lot of people don't blame Lampard. A couple of people do.
I kind of feel
Um,
bad for him.
I don't know. I mean, from a Chelsea fan perspective, when Lampard, because I wanted Lampard to stay and I wanted Lampard to do well with us, but when he started going wrong and he kept losing, there was no real way that I could, or most Chelsea fans could see us winning a game like in the Premier League against a half decent opposition. Because obviously he won like the FA Cups and stuff, like a couple of FA Cup games and stuff, but against like half decent opposition in the Prem, we looked like we was not winning a game, or we could hardly win a game. And we'd need something like a penalty to help us. And I mean, no disrespect to Everton, but I think we had a bit better quality than they do right now, than we did back then. But I feel like Everton aren't really gonna. I can't see a win. Like, what's gonna need them is, as I said, tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday, but on Saturday, against you, that's gonna be like they're gonna need the crowd. We know the crowd will help them. The crowd will be up for it. So if they beat you, that could be a massive confidence boost, and that will push them away from Burnley for at least another week or so, depending on like if Burnley wins well, then there's still going to be a point between, but at least they're getting away further from the, I guess, relegation zone, if you like, or you know, at least they're winning. So, you know, it's going to be good to see. But like I said, I still kind of think though that they will do it. I don't think
I'm not convinced.
I, I don't feel like I know Sean Dyche can do it because he's been written off plenty of times and just come back and has come back and you know like done it and escaped or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like Everton with their crowd, they could they could spur them on. Like they just need to. Like I think Lampard is right in saying their performances are getting a bit better. I know they lost, but it's just individual mistakes, really. Like it's not Lampard's fault if Godfrey slices that clearance, or it's not Everton play well. Godfrey slices the clearance, and it gives Cornet like the tapping basically. I don't like. I just think they playing a bit better than what they have started to play a tiny bit better. Gordon's in there. Calvert-Lewin though, he don't look like he's doing that great. Calvert-Lewin should be at least tying the ball up, but he just doesn't. He look like he cares more about his the shoots, the model shoots and stuff like that, fashion shoots. Than,
He's only got 3 goals this season.
he has
It's
been
like,
injured for a lot of it, but I
yeah,
still thought he'd be playing better. Like, especially with a big player like him, tall. No, you want him to be strong, and he just keeps like he's losing the ball a lot. And I'll tell you one thing. I think with their set pieces, they haven't really got a brilliant set piece taker. Like Gordon's been taking set pieces, but every corner I see or free kick, Gordon seems to not even. He seems to hit the first man. Really, he can't like get the lift on the because he's trying to curl it, but he can't seem to get the sort of lift on the whip, if you like. Um, and I've seen that every time I've rewatched Everton this season. The set piece taking is a bit. It's not great. I know he's good. He's a decent player, but I'm just saying, set piece wise, he doesn't look as if like he doesn't. He needs someone else probably to do it. I feel
yeah.
like
To
Digne.
Burnley, that set pieces, Burnley. Well, that's what they're known for. Set pieces,
Yeah, and they've done that
all
again.
that stuff. Yeah.
So that how easy was that first goal? I mean, we was kind of laughing about Iwobi marking. Who was it? I want to say his name's is it Long or something like that? I can't.
It's Collins, isn't it?
Collins or something. I forgive me, but I don't know. I can't remember his name, but he obviously got the tap him. But we was laughing about Iwobi. Sort of, I think Iwobi was supposed to be marking him, and it's a
Yeah.
bit of a miss. Well, it's not a bit. It's a big mismatch in there.
The
So
fact that he has time to side foot it in the back of the net,
yeah,
so bad.
yeah. So yeah, you can't really. They need someone like obviously. There's a lot of tall Burnley players, but Iwobi probably should not be on a centre half. You need Keane on Ben Mee or Tarkowski, then Godfrey on Collins, and Keane or whatever on whoever they might be, of course, because you've got tall players in there. But yeah, not Iwobi on Collins. So yeah, I don't know. Will will Everton do it? I still think so. We'll see this Saturday if they do start to get a win. I feel like this could be a game changer because they still got to play you at home, obviously, us at home. We're the type of team to allow them a win. Like,
I don't. It's the same as us.
yeah, but I feel like you could do something like a draw. You'll get a draw at least, like which wouldn't be great for them if Burnley do win. Well, I mean, a point to point, they'll take anything, I think. But
I mean, it's not great for us. If we're chasing top 4, I reckon we'll go for the win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. But I mean, if like say you're behind to Everton, I think you'd get a draw out of it. That's what I mean. But for us, if we lose, if we're losing, sorry, then we'll probably end up giving them the win because it's just we'll capitulate and yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We're the type of team to do that. As I said, we lost 4-1 to Brentford. Like, of course, we're the team to do that. But yeah,
We lost 4-1 to Watford. So
oh, so it ain't great. But we'll see. This is gonna be a good relegation battle, as we said in a couple of episodes now, talk about the relegation battle. It's gonna be a good end to the season to see who gets in there. But moving on to something else, I saw that FIFA and it might be UEFA both, but it was two different posts. It was on Insta, and it was something about for the World Cup, FIFA are going to try and do 100-minute matches. And as you can imagine, it's not going down well. Why would it? Like, in that heat, because it's still hot, even though it's in winter, it's still like hot out there. It's hot out there for them. So doing that, and obviously just like, why are you doing that to the game? Like, in my opinion, leave the game alone. It's like when they've tried to do Super League and all these different Champions League
yeah,
formats as well. I just realized I remembered today I saw something on Twitter about people now in the Champions League. They're reserving 2 spots UEFA for people who have historic sort of that history in the Champions League. And why they should people earn it on merit? Why should they get in because historic like heritage basically in the Champions League? Like if we don't win the if we don't progress to the Champions League in our league, then that's down to us. Like we shouldn't be getting a bye, or no one should be really getting a bye because we've won the Champions League twice or won the Champions League 3 times like you. Like the whole point of football is just why we love football is because it's that passion, like the trying to earn your rights to get into things such as Champions League or trying to winning trophies. That's how you do it. You don't get a bye through to a round because of your heritage. You have to earn your way to get in to the next round of the Champions League.
Yeah, it ruins it for other teams who, like teams like West Ham, for instance, who aim to try and get into that Champions League spot.
Yeah,
for instance.
Yeah, like
they might not be able to get into it because some other team, like a Chelsea or whatever, or us, because of that heritage, we get to go in because we've won it before.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah.
It's just unfair on other teams.
Yeah, lower league teams, like I say West Ham or Leicester, if they ever win in it again, and I don't know if it's true, but maybe apparently been hearing as well that or saw something that was like if you win the FA Cup, you could get into the Champions League, maybe. Like this whole thing on UEFA and FIFA, because I've sort of gone into 2 into 1 here, because I was going to talk about because UEFA as well I saw today is apparently they want to do 60-minute matches now. So I saw 2 separate things. The other day was the FIFA 100-minute matches at the World Cup, which is just no one. Why would you want to do that? And then I saw today apparently UEFA want to do 60-minute matches, and they're going to trial it on the under 23 games or something. It's like, so it's a bit of 2 in 1. What I'm trying to say, but UEFA, FIFA, why are they trying to change the game? It kind of annoys me because we've grown up to know you earn your place in, as I was saying, you earn your place in, qualification for whatever, or you earn your place to win a trophy. You have to earn your right and do that rather than getting a bye. That's why we stopped this whole Super League thing, because this was, that was screwed up the whole of the football pyramid. We were speaking about yesterday. We was sort of saying, if we didn't, if we didn't stop Super League, it would have screwed up the pyramid, because you've got like sort of the top 6 of the Premier League, then the top like 4 or 5 in Italy, top 3 probably in, or 4 maybe in Spain, and then obviously in France as well. You got a few. If they all got in this Super League, if we all got in the Super League, the league should be screwed. So, for instance, Premier League is our league. So we take the top 6 out, and then you're left with sort of 7th and below. And then what's that? You haven't got 20 teams in there anymore. And it's like, then people will come from the Championship because they want to fill the places probably of the Premier League, maybe. I don't know. I just got that theory that they might have done that. That would be the thinking process of like the FA and whatever, the Premier League, I don't know, the EFL. And a few teams just keep going up. So from the Championship, so people from League One would go into the Championship when they just don't deserve it, because based on this Super League, and because UEFA want to make this
money.
Make money, and all this history sort of, you're in because you won the Champions League before. Like in that case, like I didn't hear about Nottingham Forest getting in the Champions League, but they won it. I mean, it's technically it wasn't called that, but they still won it. Still won the European Cup. So I didn't hear Nottingham Forest getting a shout about that. yeah, I mean, it's just UEFA from FIFA are just so corrupt, and it annoys me when you're trying to change football when they don't need to be changed. Like this whole format of extra teams in the Champions League, like we've been saying, you don't need extra teams. Just leave the tournament as it is. We like having group stages. Then you go to the knockouts. Then you've got the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then the final. We don't need extra teams who don't deserve to be in there because they ain't made it through their leagues or whatever, or they get like a wild card or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what they're doing, but it's terrible. And then these matches they're trying to extend and longer periods, and then trying to keep it short. And also, I'm kind of like annoyed with the fact that the 5 substitution rules happening. Like I think you'll like it. Like we've all grown up with, it's the football naturally is 3 substitutions is allowed. Like not 5, but because one manager's moaning about player protection and all that kind of stuff, or a couple of managers, like why should we do it? Like it's going to be, I think it is going to be a little bit unfair on lower league teams who haven't got as much depth. So like City, you'll see next season, oh, we'll bring on Foden, Grealish, Silva, Cancelo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just bring them on. 4 subs in a go against Norwich, and Norwich are already like 3-0 down or something. Well, Norwich won't be here probably next season. I don't know. They might be, they might not be, but more likely not. But you know, I'm trying to say Fulham, let's say, but Fulham have only got like they're 3-0 down. Fulham to City away, but City are going to bring on like 4 brilliant players or whatever because of the 5 sub rule. It's just like the I don't know, the integrity, I feel, because it just ruins that, because the whole point of it is to limit to 3 subs and all this sort of 5 subs, protect like they're professional footballers. Like I know you can get tired during the season, but like this is your job. Like you've got the best job in the world, and managers defending them is a bit like, yes, at some points, some aspects I agree with. Sometimes like traveling and stuff, but if you're a footballer, like you've got one of the best jobs. Like you play football, and you're moaning about, oh, I need to protect this player. Like I don't know, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I just think sometimes you should just leave football alone. Really, leave it as it is. It's
I would have
how
understand it if there was a really compact schedule. For
yeah,
instance, during COVID times, I probably would have allowed 5 substitutions then.
yeah, yeah,
But the fact that COVID is just, there's fans back. There's you don't the schedule's like all back to normal. You don't need to bring it back like 5 substitutions.
yeah. The
Like
fact, yeah. The fact is, they're sort of they obviously the Premier League have agreed to it for next season. Obviously, we'll go it forever now. The only thing it probably might do is might give youngsters, if they ever get a chance, maybe to bring them on. But um, I just feel like, yeah, with COVID's not fully gone, but it probably isn't like as bad as obviously what we've seen for the past couple of years. So doing all that, and saying 5 substitutions, and I'm personally, I say personally is obviously done for this, and everyone probably knows it's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is the biggest, I think, whinge bag in one of the biggest whinge bags, really. I was going to say in football, but well, as a manager, like he's the one that's really pushed for this. I always hear him moaning on TV about, um, you know, like he's moans about Boxing Day football. That is English tradition. Like you've been here for a few years now. Just get used to it. Like some people, you have to play a day. Fine, you have to play a day like Christmas Eve and then like Boxing Day or whatever. Like, just like get used to it. Like
it's not
it's
like
it's English
Liverpool
football.
are the only team doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Um, you know, that's what you should be doing. You should like everyone. has to do it. Players, you're not actually playing out there, but obviously he's protecting players. But that's just part of the English game. Like you have to get used to it. And now this 5 substitution rule, as I said, the depth will just be a bit. I feel like it's a bit unfair on smaller clubs. But it goes back to the point of, as I say, UEFA and FIFA have really changed, start trying to change football and everything like that, and it really does just. It kind of annoys me a little bit when stuff doesn't need to be changed really. For no apparent, like if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like simple. Like there's no need for change. Like as I say, but they all
No one's
do.
calling out for it, are they? It's just their decision.
Yeah, but as I say, we all know what it's down to. It's down to money. So
I mean, fans have their voice. Fans will have their say. So
yeah, I mean,
whatever they say,
yeah,
there'll be protests maybe against it.
The thing is, I don't think there will be like people are really not going to take. I don't know if people will take notice because it's not like a big thing where all the big teams will be leaving. I think they're trying to do it a bit secretly. Oh yeah, a couple of teams will get 2 spots reserved for people with heritage and stuff. Like no one's really like, oh yeah, like no one's gonna be like, oh my god, what are you doing? Or I don't. I feel like they're trying to do it quite subtly or quite subtle. So I think it's no one will really be protesting unless I'm wrong, but I don't see major protests like we saw like last year. But if they try and do this 100 minutes or these 60 minutes, I think there will be big debates about it, and there might even not protest for it. There could be, I don't know how bad, but I think there'll be big debates rather, which could get them talking, which will then hopefully as well see the change, or it might not even happen yet. But if no one agrees with players, because you need players to agree with it, probably managers, clubs, everyone to agree with it. So if some players don't want to do it, then then it probably won't happen. But we can only sort of hope that nothing really gets changed. But yeah, as I said, we all know it's what this is for. It's all for money and all stuff like that. When I'm talking about more teams being put in and stuff, so yeah, it's not great.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, but obviously, I'll tell you one thing that we are moving on to now. Obviously, though, is one sort of quick thing we're going to talk about is obviously Mitrovic. And obviously, as it's coming to the end of the season or business end, not just the Premier League, but as many English fans know, it's the Championship playoff places, promotion. It's when it gets starts getting a bit, business like sort of exciting because you have the playoffs, and I always love the playoffs personally, because there's just always drama, excitement. Fans are up for it. There's always passion, and it always creates really. I don't know why it always creates really high scoring games because everyone's desperate to get to Wembley to then play for a place in the playoff final, really. So yeah, but one of the stand-up players, obviously Fulham, I think Bournemouth are pretty much clear of going up, but Fulham have looked pretty clear. They're top, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And well, Mitrovic has just been flying this season. So what was it? 38 goals he scored now just in the Championship. That is remarkable. Like, but we always joke. We always have to joke of what would he do in the Prem, because he scored 38 this season, then he'll come to the Prem next season, score like 2 or something. Like
you
that.
would think you would do brilliant in the Premier League, but
yeah, he's one of those.
he's been in the Premier League quite a few times, like for Newcastle, with Fulham as well.
Yeah,
he's just not performed like he has done. Well, I know the Championship is quite a drop down compared to the Premier League, but still, you'd think he'd do a lot better in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, the Championship is still one. I mean, the Championship is probably better for drama based and everything like that. It's definitely better than some of the like French league. I personally think the Championship is better than French league. I'm not even joking with that statement because, well, we all know what French league's like, but the Championship just brings so much drama. Not just the playoffs, like you, because we know how you've got 24 teams in there, and the amount of people you can be 10th or 11th, but you can still like if you win a couple of games, you're in like third or whatever, or fourth or something like that. So it's a brilliant league to probably to play in, and as I say, it's starting to get to the business end, and you have so many teams that are fighting for that. Those 4 playoff spots really getting into third to sixth. And it's gonna be good. There's a few teams in there like Blackburn, I think, Middlesbrough,
Luton, got Huddersfield.
Is QPR in there, I think? Well, they're very close. Let me get the table up.
Could be around.
I think it even goes as far as like. Yeah, hang on. Let me get the.
I think I said the other day, like from 11th place, I think can actually make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's. There's a table where it is.
That's including teams like Coventry and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we've got obviously Fulham is top. Then you got Bournemouth. They're quite a bit of a way. Then you got the likes of Huddersfield in third, Luton, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield are back. See, I saw Sheffield were like mid-table. I swear, for like a couple of weeks on. Now they're like 6th. I mean, it's a honestly, it honestly made it's a bonkers league. Like generally, it is so bonkers, and you'll see it's next season. It's not just like these. You'll see like if Burnley go down or if Everton maybe go down, Norwich. You'll see it's just this same drama. It's a brilliant league. The likes of Blackburn. Who have we got? 10th, Millwall in 10th. So third is Huddersfield on 66. I'd say probably down to to get in 6th. You can, I mean, maybe down to QPR, Millwall maybe, but it's still a big ask really. Probably Blackburn, just QPR, so 9th I'd say, but there's still lots of teams that can go in and fight for those 3 spots.
It only takes a couple wins, and
as I say, I generally saw Sheffield United in like 12th or 13th or something like a couple of weeks ago, and now they're like 6th, which is mental. But yeah, it's gonna be a great into season for whoever. I always enjoy watching the playoffs. I think you said you do.
Yeah.
Especially because you get those 2 legs, and then you get to the final of the Wembley, and that's still a crazy game as well with lots of drama and everything like that. So that's gonna be good to see. But as I said, Mitrovic has been flying. He's going up. He's obviously going to get automatic with Fulham, probably Bournemouth as well. But yeah, with Scott Parker, it's going to be good. The Championship is always, I say, electric. But Mitrovic, I have to say, to break Tony's record, which everyone thought bloody hell last season with 30 goals, to match 38, and he's still got a few games to go. He could easily get that 40 mark, and
oh yeah,
I don't think anyone's breaking that. No one's breaking that. I couldn't see another player breaking that. Yeah, but you've got lots of players, lots of teams in there. Sorry, from to from QPR to Sheffield to Middlesbrough. Personally, I think Forest could go up. I think Forest will be in there. Forest will be in the final.
I like to see them back up.
Forest got a good fan base, very good fans. We saw their FA Cup run this season. So unlucky against Liverpool, really. They were so up for it, and they've done so well. And they've done so well. So to see them come up, it would be a credit because obviously used to being in the Prem, done well. I said in Europe, as I said for Europe, when Brian Clough was in charge, manager of them, it was years ago, but they did win it back to back. But to get them back in the in the Premier League, it'd be good to see, and a fan base, as I say. So, and then you got the likes of Blackburn maybe coming back from first time for might be nearly a decade, I think. Like 2012 was like the last 2012, 2013 maybe was the last time I think we saw him in there. I'm pretty sure from the days
Yeah,
of Yakubu.
yeah, it could be around that.
So
Oh,
somewhere
jeez.
like that. So a long time. I know it's a long time. So, but yeah, no, it's been it's good to see the championship teams. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good race to the end of the season. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there today. Obviously, our Instagram will be in the link down below in the description. So if you want to go follow us on our Insta. And yeah, hopefully we'll see us in the next episode. And if you want us to specifically, any points or talking points you want us to talk to us about, leave them, or for us to talk about, I should say, leave them in the comment section below. But yeah, that's it, Ralph. We'll see us in your next episode. Cheers.